over 5 years ago, Kevin Feige was very honest about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He didn't want to focus on entertaining people or telling compelling stories. Instead, he wanted to focus on the diversity and inclusion of the MCU, including by promising that eventually there will be more female heroes than males. Well, he was absolutely truthful about that. We got full-blown MCU, and as a result, the audience has walked away. The Marvels is a catastrophic flop at the box office. It's completely bombed. $108 million global opening when it was all said and done. About $46 million domestic opening. Both of those are the worst we've ever seen in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In 15 years, and now it's at an all-time low. Fans have watched as the Marvel Cinematic Universe has transformed over the last several years when they decided to stop focusing on great characters that people care about and entertaining stories, and instead focused on pandering to people. That's what the difference is. They don't care that people aren't interested in these characters. They don't care that this person failed time and time and time again in the comics when they were only created for diversity purposes. Those are the characters they wanted to run with, and those are the characters they have now failed with. Because when that is your forefront, when it's not about entertainment, instead it's about an agenda, eventually it'll come back to bite you in the ass. And now, despite this massive, catastrophic, undeniable failure, a movie that cost over $300 million when it's all said and done to produce, who knows what the marketing budget was, this is going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars for them. The Shills are now out in force, doing their best to spin everything they can. They are coping so hard. They're saying one excuse after another. Oh, well, it's because of the actors' strike. Oh, well, it's because of angry YouTubers. They're the ones that caused this to fail. Look at this headline from Forbes today. The Marvels faces anti-woke backlash after box office flop, echoing Captain Marvel attacks. Top line, The Marvels, the newest installment, had the franchise's worst ever opening period at the box office, and right-wing critics are using its poor performance to criticize the profitability of female-led movies years after lead actress Brie Larson faced attacks for her prior film, Captain Marvel. By the way, this movie made about a third of what Captain Marvel did in its opening, just for the record. The Marvels, which stars 3 women as the leads, opened in theaters last week and fell far below expectations, grossing just $47 million, what is now Marvel's worst opening weekend, despite a reported production budget of over $200 million. Yeah, it's going to end up being over $300 million by the time it's all said and done. This film is one of just a handful of female-led Marvel projects and serves as a sequel to billion-dollar Captain Marvel. This article gets into the review bombing that happened during Captain Marvel and how they're not seeing that on Rotten Tomatoes this time. The movie's been targeted by some right-wing critics who accuse the female-led movie of being woke. Conservatives have waged war on Disney for months, criticizing several of its films and shows for focusing on racial diversity and LGBTQ themes, and for the company's feud with Governor Ron DeSantis. The Marvel's director says she ignores sexist trolls. Bro, this is a Cope article, right? About how all these people, they're the ones that caused it. They've been railing against Disney. Really? You're going to give us that much power, huh? Because it was just a little while ago that we were nothing. We weren't saying anything. Nothing we said mattered. Weird how that changes to all of these people are now to blame for its failure. And look at the fucking cope from some of these shills. A lot of some of these like inside scooper people who are just straight up shills and want to make sure they stay in good graces with the people at Marvel. When Variety, admits that this thing is a massive failure. What does Big Screen Leak say? You conveniently forgot to mention this is the only MCU film without actors promoting it due to being on strike. Of course. What about this? Again, searches for Brie Larson the past week peaked at the exact moment she appeared on The Tonight Show. It's almost like the Marvels was missing a certain element to its marketing, talking about the actors' strike. Yet some people continue to say the stars of the Marvels actually promoting the movie would have had zero effect. Bro, I would contend that them not out there promoting, them not out there having clips of them talking about girl power, this, whatever, empowerment, that, I think that probably helped this movie. I think it would have turned more people off if they had heard some of the things that they would probably been out there saying on the tour. You got people that are still trying to cope with the box office failure by saying, well, at least it's still the highest grossing opening by a black film director. Congratulations on that accomplishment. It's also the worst in the history of the MCU. Congratulations on your fake achievement that you want to give yourself. Holy shit, this is wild. You got once again people saying, well, the only reason anyone dislikes this is because of the women involved. Answer this question for me. Where was this backlash to Wonder Woman? You're saying this is all about female-led films. People just hate that, blah, blah, blah. Where was this backlash to Wonder Woman? A movie that did really well at the box office, made like, what, $900 million, and a movie that generally was very well received. Where was this hatred for something like Wonder Woman? It's almost like it wasn't there because that was a good movie. Then guess what happened? Wonder Woman 1984 came out, and people hated it. It got a lot of backlash. Why was that? Was it because it was a woman? No, it's because it was a bad fucking movie. But the problem with the Marvels, the problem with the MCU in general, and the thing that all these people right now are desperately trying to spin, blaming bigotry, blaming sexism, blaming racism, blaming misogyny, they can't cope with the reality that this movie is just bad, and that a lot of content in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, since they decided to stop focusing on telling compelling stories and instead focus on checking boxes for diversity, that when that becomes your priority, and actual storytelling takes a back seat, everything's going to suffer. And that has led the MCU to a complete and total collapse. The Marvels is a massive failure right now, and you're seeing some mainstream articles out there criticizing, they're the ones. There's such negative energy around it because of the way people talked about it. You have people blaming everything they can, the actors' strike, misogynists online. People are desperate. The shills are desperate to spin this thing, but there's really no way to spin it. The Marvels is a total and complete catastrophe, and it's only going to get worse. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.